Hi guys, so today we'll be working on the position component in the Unity system. So basically I have created a cube here. As you can see, if you don't know how to create a cube, it's very easy. You right click here, 3D object and the cube. Okay, and if you do that you'll get a cube. So in this cube you can see that when I move this sticks, if you notice in this place, there are some fractional values which are changing. I mean decimal values which are changing. So basically these values are the one which governs the movement of the game object. It may be any game object, and then as you can see each line has an indicator. Y is for the screen, Z axis represents the blue, and X axis represents the red because it is a 3D system. So now today's task will be to create a script to move this cube up and down when you press W and S. So before going to scripting, I want you to know that this coordinate system is known as world space coordinate systems, and in the further video you will know why specifically it's called world space coordinate systems. So without any further delay, we just create a folder and name it as scripts, and then we create a C# script and we name it as cube controller. So now your cube controller is open, and you can see that when you create a script there are two functions. One is start and one is update. So your start function works when you load the game or when the scene is loaded in that game, and update function works on each and every rendered frame. So basically, first of all, we are going to access this cube. So to access this cube, we will create a public, and since cube is game object, and we name it as cube. Okay, and then we are using public so that it is visible in our inspector. So now when you see there is nothing visible, so we need a holder which can create our script. So we create an empty game object and we say it as cube controller, and we can place it anywhere. It doesn't matter because it's empty, and then just drag it here and see the magic. A cube variable game which will hold a game object. So we just place it here. Now what we have to do is that we have we got this cube component, we want to get its transform component and we want to change its position. So to do that, we go to our scripts and we write public, sorry, we write cube dot transform. We got the transform now, and dot position. That's it. And suppose we want to move it some distance in each frame. So that means we want to add something to its position. So we just add a value and we put vectors, because in 3 dimensions we use vectors. So we put 0, and since we are working on the y axis, as you can see here it says x, y, z. So let's add some minimal value like 0.01, and then we put it as float. And now let's try to see the effects. So you can see that the cube is moving, but after a certain time it acts in a weird manner. Though this is not what we desired, we wanted to give a smooth transition, so we will see about the smooth transition further in the video. So for today's task we wanted to take W and S to move it up and down. So remember that our keyboard is an input space. So Unity knows that, so it has created a class called input, and we need to get a key. So we have a function called get key. So as long as, and this function as it suggests, it returns true while the user holds a key. So as long as you are holding a key, this if statement is going to work. So then you go key code. Since each key has a code which is labeled as WASD, so we give W here, and this key code will be space for space, return for enter, and so on. Okay, so now we want cube dot transform dot position plus equal to new vector 3, and we want to move it in y 1 and 0, and then we will add an extra variable called time dot delta time, which is for frame rate independence, and it will give you a very smooth transition. You'll get to know what I'm saying. So now when you play it and when you press W, see, it goes very smoothly upside. Now we want to go back using minus, and then if we do a subtraction for whatever position we have added, we are going to go back down. So now as you can see, when I press W, your Y is increasing, and when I press S, your Y is decreasing. So now the question is that how to move left and right. Well, basically you see that to move left and right we have to change the x coordinates. So let's do it. We just copy this, Control C, and we are planning to move it through A and D. And we play this, and then we give an A. Okay. So when you want to move left, so you just give 0 here, and see this is the x coordinate of this part, and we just put a 1 here. Okay. And for right, the same thing which we did for down, we are going to put a T here. Okay. And we are going to change the coordinate. Now you will see that when I press A, it is increasing and it is going towards the right part, and when I press it is going towards the left. So it is working in opposite, like in A it should go to left, and it is in D it should go to the right part. So we just change the controls here, and we just change addition and subtraction values so that when we are subtracting a value in the x-axis it is going towards left, and when you are adding in the value of x-axis it's going towards right. And then when you play it, that's it. So it beautifully goes here and there. So now since you have seen this thing, you can pause the video and see the code if you want to do anything. Well, I have a task for you. The task is to create a scene and call it test, and then as you can see in the display, when you play the game, use W to move forward, S to move backward, D and A to move left and right respectively.